This is truly what it is like as a UX designer in a nutshell. To get out of the house more, out in society like a normal human would. I just don't leave the house that much because I work from home. I want to try and go to more coffee shops. Also, side note, I hate wearing makeup. Typically what I wear on a day-to-day basis, I just put a little concealer on, a little bit of Rare Beauty blush. Face is usually pretty shiny from all of the skincare that I put on, so I either go in with this Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I'm also obsessed. Bristle Blotting Invisimatte powder. You can see my pan, it's like so used, and I'm like treasuring that I don't use too much of it, but it's like literally my go-to when I work because it takes away so much of the shine that I had for my skincare. I will never ever do is I will never have a bare lip. I've been obsessed right now with Kosas, but let's go over my to-do list today as a product designer working at a tech company. The first thing I need to work on are sketches and lo-fi mockups. The second thing that I need to get done, user research, interview plan, and a script. The only thing is I doubt that I can finish both of those things today because they're going to take a bit, so my optimism is like, okay, I can probably get both of them done. Okay, bad news. The coffee shop I just rolled up on is completely full. I don't even think there's a table, and now I have nowhere to go. I could bike somewhere else, but like, I gotta start working. I can't keep scouting out places and hoping that it works. It's so packed. This is a newer coffee shop. It's super trendy. It was very not smart of me. So, wish me luck. Creating a user research script is not as easy as it sounds. I really like digging into people's insights and analyzing them. I have a psychology background, so it's probably why I thrive in this environment. We do user research interviews mainly to understand the why behind something, but what's funny is that you don't necessarily want to ask why literally. Asking why could sound really judgmental, and when you're representing like a company, when you ask a user participant, why are you doing that? It almost feels like we're questioning how they work and what their work style is, which isn't really ideal, and that could honestly muddy the responses. But instead, ask questions like, what are some reasons why you use Google Chat? Please tell me what factors got you to that point. Please tell me more about that, or could you expand on that? While I was at the coffee shop, I realized that I might have to throw away a week's worth of designs. Midway through the designs, you realize like, holy shit, I have so many questions to ask, like I can't really move on unless I get those answered. What I typically do when I get stuck and I feel like I can't move forward is I list out all of those designs and I start to compile a list of questions and also reiterate all the pros and cons from a user standpoint, what design to explore further. And it's easier to ask my questions when you have a visual there and you can really like look at all the different little things that I actually have questions on. So like this totally happens, but that's why it's so important to start in low fidelity mode, whether it is sketches or I'm just in FigJam right now. So that way when things do change, because most likely they will, you don't feel like you wasted all your time on like a high fidelity, super complex prototype and realize that you have to start all over again. That is like something you really want to avoid as a UX designer. I know I did that in my first year because I was too afraid to like ask questions and share my design while it was in progress. And that's definitely something that I've learned throughout the years working with other senior designers. So don't make that mistake and make sure that you start very, very lo-fi. Okay, I have a final development of this day, which has felt like it has not ended. Basically, I went back to the drawing board like I mentioned, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try and figure out how I can explain this to my team members so we can hit the ground running when we try and decide which designs to look at as top options. And of course, I like went down some rabbit hole and I like really looked at those original 4 designs and I was like, I don't like any of them. And it's not up to me to like decide if I like them or not, but I just really didn't feel like that was the best solution that I can come up with for the problem. Like I really felt like I had more to give. And I realized that there are 3 other options that I like a lot better. And I'm like, well, do I only like them because they're new or do I actually like them because they solve the problem? Sometimes I feel like I'm so smart, and sometimes I'm like, this is not gonna work. Oh, hi, baby. Morty just brought me Christmas squirrel. Ready? Okay. If I end up pivoting, that's fine, and that's like the whole point of being a designer is experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't and really thinking through things, and most of the time things are going to change. This is truly what it is like as a UX designer in a nutshell. When it's time to brainstorm, more or even better ideas come up. Every single day as a UX designer is completely different, and that's why I love my job, because you never know where you're gonna get yourself into, and whatever happens at the start of the day is not how you're gonna end the day. If you're interested in seeing more day in the lives of a UX designer working at a tech company, make sure you watch these videos next.